Star just joined. What's up? He's never come up here. He's the only one of my cats that has never been interested in this chair. What are you doing here? Hello. Anyway, while he's exploring, I'll explain to you what we're doing here today. So, thank you for showing up. I literally thought you weren't gonna come. What the fuck? I left a table for you. I left a chair for you. And I thought that you weren't gonna come. But here you are, and so thank you for that. Today, of course, we're on Ask Reddit again, and we're gonna be deep diving into the real life horror stories this time. I know in my last video I said that I wasn't gonna do them, but I wanted to, I curated some this time. I've been looking through them, and I'm picking the ones that are, interesting, but not, traumatizing, you know what I mean? Also, look at my new phone charm. This one is I don't know if you can tell, but this one is inspired by UFOs and aliens. These little beads at the top are supposed to be the alien, and then this is like the UFO. This one is my favorite one that I've ever made. So we're on r/ask Reddit today, and the question is, with Halloween coming up, what is your story of the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you? I have a couple stories. I already can tell from reading these stories, none of mine are as good as them. These are some crazy ass stories. Like the first one that I'm about to get into. Let's just get into it. Hold up. I need to. Hello? This just fucking came off. Say hi to Star before he leaves. Star, say hi to the camera. They all love you. How could you not love that adorable face? Puss. Anyway, so getting right into the first one. Last year I was dog sitting for my parents while they were on holiday. First mistake, I will never house sit for somebody. That's scary. That's like a scary story waiting to happen. They live in a very rural countryside village in an old barn conversion, and I hate staying there by myself. No, that sounds fucking horrifying. So about 10 days into house sitting, I woke up at 4 a.m. and could hear something downstairs. Thinking I had somehow gone to bed and left the TV on, I went down to the lounge, but the TV was off. See, that's one thing that can never happen to me. I would never forget if I turned it on or off, you know? I would immediately be like, there's somebody in our fucking house. I wandered into the hall, looking for the source of the sound. Both the dogs were sat very alertly outside the office door. Then I saw the light was coming from behind the office door. I have absolutely no explanation for what happened that night. The computer in the office is my brother's, and he had been sailing in Europe for 2 months at this point, and his computer was always password protected. However, on this night, the computer was on, unlocked, and the noise I could hear was a YouTube video about Soviet Union experiments of dog head transplants. I worked from home the next day as I was so scared I'd come home to find my dog's heads had been switched. Wait, they're your dogs? I feel like this is such a fake story, low-key. Because, I feel like the two explanations are either that it's fake or the brother was playing a prank with you and he somehow, set something up. I don't know, maybe he's like a computer person. I don't believe this story for a second, though. That did not happen. Fuck. That's horrifying. Okay, so now we got a haunted story with a dead flight attendant. I was working as a bartender at a hotel that a flight attendant was murdered in room 354 at about a year before the incident. Anyhow, it was close to closing time when the MOD manager of I don't know, a very small woman comes into bar and tells me she needed my help. It seems the fire panel is showing an alarm in room 354, which has been somewhat cleaned and left vacant since the murder. So the two of us go up the elevator and start heading down the long L-shaped corridor. I-shaped corridor. No, L-shaped. Okay. As we round the corner, we can see papers had been shoved under the door from inside the room with "Help Me" written on them. So the manager puts her master key in the lock and opens the door to pitch black in the room, and we hear, "Thank God you have finally come." We both instinctively jump back and then see one of our maintenance workers stroll out the door. It seems maintenance had been using the room for storage, and once he went inside, the doorknob was broken off on the inside. There were no lights or phone in the room, so he held his lighter up to the fire alarm. See, this is the thing where it's like, is that coincidence, or was the flight attendant who was murdered trying to get you? I would literally, like, I would kill myself. I think that's so scary. Low-key, this is a completely different story, but um I guess it has to do with hotels and locked out or in. Shut up. I was once at a hotel with my mother and I think my brother, and I guess I literally like sleptwalked or something, or I must have just been so tired, and I got up and went to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom. Instead, I opened the front door because you know how, like, I don't know if it's all hotels, but most of the hotels I've ever been in, it's like entrance bathroom is either right to the right of the door or right to the left. In this case, it was to the right of the door, and I guess I picked the wrong door because I, like, fully awake. I was standing in the hallway in my underwear, and I was locked out, and I was banging on the fucking door, but nobody would pick up. Nobody would pick up. It's not a fucking phone. Banging on the door, but nobody would open it. I can't even remember how I got in, to be honest. Like, I literally cannot remember. But I remember my mother was pissed at me, and I was like, girl, you're the one that left me out there for like 10, 15 minutes. When I was a senior in high school, a bunch of my friends and I used to drive into the hills to drink and get away from our parents. Mood. I was the DD one night and drove back four of my friends. Two of the girls were really drunk and started puking, so we pulled over in a park. Both of the girls started puking outside my car doors, and then this pickup rolled up behind us, had its high beams on us. The word puke is so gross to me. Like, I just say throw up or vomit. I don't say puke. I puked. Mommy, I puked. Gross. I thought it was the cops and was just waiting for them to bust us, but the person in the car just stayed there. Eventually, we closed the doors and drove away. The pickup followed us. I started driving faster and through a neighborhood I knew really well, taking every turn and starting to speed up, but the pickup kept following us. Eventually, my friends needed to puke again, and we pulled over. The pickup stopped behind us again and just kept its lights on us. I looked through my rearview mirror and saw an older white guy with a beard. He started reaching for something in his glove compartment. At that point, I freaked out, told my friends to pull my other friends in the car, and floored it. We took a couple turns and lost the guy. We stayed in the driveway of a random person for like 15 minutes and then decided it was safe. We turned back onto the main street, and the pickup was waiting for us. I drove as fast as I could down the main street, and the pickup kept following us. Eventually, at the bottom of a hill, there was a massive accident and a bunch of police cars and fire trucks. I started to slow down like I was going to pull over towards the police. The pickup overtook us, ran a red light in front of the cops, and I never saw him again. I have no idea who that guy was or what he wanted, but it was terrifying. There's always somebody ruining it in the comments. Like, they're fine, but this is what this person had to say. Alternatively, maybe he saw some drunk teenagers driving around and decided he'd follow until they were safe. You have to be so fucking stupid to think that. Like, that is not what he was thinking, I guarantee it. But if he was, then he's fucking stupid. That's crazy. Ugh, that story, what the hell? That was creepy. That's kind of like similar to my story. One of my stories that I wanted to share, but I was in high school, and it was really late at night, and it was just me and my one friend left, and I was driving her home to drop her off at the end of the night, and I don't know. See, like, I don't know if this was like a weekday, so it was before midnight, or if this was a weekend, so it was after midnight. I don't know. One of the two. It was. I feel like it was either like 11 or 1, and we pull up to this traffic light, or this. Hey, look at my slippers. It's Charizard, and they're like falling apart. But I was at this light with my friend, and I was in the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat, and nobody's at this intersection. All of a sudden, I'm not even kidding you, a white pedo van rolls up next to us. And, like, obviously that's mostly like a stereotype, so I'm not like, oh my god, there's a white pedo van beside us. I don't even really realize at first, okay? And then so they pull up. All of a sudden, what do I see? I see out of the corner of my eye, in the passenger side mirror, uh, like a silhouette of somebody reaching for the back door of the car. Oh, bitch. I fucking stepped on it, and like the only reason I didn't run a red light is because it immediately changed to green as soon as I started going. But I was gonna run that fucking red because what do you mean? Yeah, so like what the fuck was he doing there? Or whoever they were. Whoever the fuck you were, who do you think you are and what the fuck were you trying to do? Were you trying That's the other thing too. Like we were cuz I just started screaming and I ran through that green light. um and then my friend was like, "What?" And then we get through the intersection and I start telling her and she was like freaking out. Um and then we were like wondering like were we about to die? Were we about to get kidnapped? Were we about to get robbed? Like it could have been like it would have been bad regardless, but it could have been less bad, you know? But like and the thing is, why would you reach for the back door? Cuz this was when I was driving. It was like a 2014 Nissan. Fuck. How do I forget what it's called? Oh, Nissan Versa Note. So the moment that you drive over the speed of 30, the doors lock. So there was absolutely no way that my doors would have been unlocked in that position because the road was a 50 kilometer an hour. All I had to do was go at least close to the speed limit, and my doors would have locked. You know, like a little bit over half the speed limit. So like I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I think I shared this story in another video, but if you maybe didn't watch that video, I'll just quickly recap it. But there's an abandoned factory in my city, and one time me and or well, there used to be. It got demolished, of course, because nobody can have any fucking fun. Who cares if it's a little dangerous, you know? Um, but what am I talking about? Oh yeah, so I went there one night with my friends, and we were the only ones there. There were no other cars. We couldn't see anyone. No flashing lights. It was like really dark, really scary. I don't know why we had so much balls to do stuff like that. But yeah, we were in there and somebody was throwing rocks at us, like near us, not like at us, like it didn't hit us or anything, but they were throwing rocks at like the wall above our heads, or like we'd be walking up these like metal stairs and then they would throw rocks at the stairs, and we couldn't find out where they were coming from either. But obviously as soon as rocks started getting thrown at us, we like very quickly made our way out of there and left because like, and at the end of the day, I honestly think it was just a homeless person or something, and he was like annoyed with us because like I don't know, like if I feel like if it was somebody our age, we would have heard like laughing or something, or if it was somebody that was trying to hurt us, then it probably would have been a lot worse. Like they were just throwing rocks near us, you know. So like, oh fuck, that gives me the heebie-jeebies to think about. I'm honestly really annoyed that it's not midnight right now because that would that would be a key. That would be fucking crazy. Um, okay, this one is way too long. I'm not reading all that. Way too long. I'm not reading all that. Okay. Repost from similar thread that didn't take off. I had just moved into a townhouse, my first place alone, with a door that opened out to the world instead of a hallway. Oh, okay, I see. I see what you mean. Literally, my third night there, I am reading the story of Eliza Lamb at the Cecil. I don't know how to say that word. The Cecil Hotel, the Cecil Hotel. I am reading the story of Eliza Lamb at the Cecil, bone-chilling story and video to begin with. I don't think I've looked into that one. I don't know if I want to. Maybe I will. And it's just a bit past midnight on a chilly October night. All of a sudden, someone starts pounding on my door like side fist, door thumping kind of pounding. My dog, who is a lab pit mix, races downstairs and starts barking like crazy. Another reason I can't have a cat. I could have pretended to, or no, another reason I can't have a dog, sorry. I could have pretended to not be there, but the dog just ruined all of that. Like, cause, yeah, maybe somebody's home or somebody's not home and their dog is, but that's my dog. I'm protecting my dog. That's my dog, like, you know? But it's not my dog, cause I don't want one. I creep down slowly and slide up to the peephole to reveal an older, skeevy looking dude, unshaven, gray hair, and in a disheveled mullet, because he keeps pounding, and also to let him know someone is inside, so don't come in. Maybe not the best logic. I asked, "Who's there?" He growls, "Gas man." I say, "What? Gas man. I need to come in." "There's no way I'm letting you in. Miss, it's an emergency." Yeah, there is no possible way I'm opening that door. I'm calling the police. This is horrifying. You're really not going to let me in? No. I'm watching him through this whole time through the peephole, close to the door so I can hear him over my dog's thankfully vicious sounding bark. When he finally believes he's not getting in, he deflates and shuffles off. Fast forward 5 minutes later, and the two women who live next door knock. It really was the gas man, but who calls themselves that? There was a gas leak and they need to check my place. Well, yeah, what the fuck was he doing? That man is bad at his job. What do you mean the gas man? The fuck do you mean the gas man? What the fuck do you actually mean? That's crazy. My ex and I were renting an older, small house built in the 1900s. First mistake. The back door had a vestibule. Second mistake. What the fuck is a vestibule? That sounds haunted. Where you could either enter the basement door or enter the back door to the house, entering the dining room. Enter? The back door had a vestibule where you could either enter the basement door or enter the back door to the house. Okay, so like a fucking like entryway. This door has a long window pane. What the fuck? And we had a long stretch curtain for the window. My ex had some emotional issues, and when we moved to this location, things got much worse for her. One night, during one of her fits of screaming at me, we began to hear a slamming sound coming from the vestibule. We get down on the floor and peer through the uncovered bottom window pane and see the door to the basement swinging open, slamming violently and without pattern. Slam, slam, slam. We then heard and felt a very hard slam hit the floor as if someone took a sledgehammer to the ceiling below us. I get up and slowly open the door, and the basement door opens once more and then ceases to move. I take a flashlight and head downstairs, which was a very old dirt floor, rock foundation basement. I was very freaked out as I headed down the flight of stairs and expected someone to pop out, but they never did. No one was down there and it was very quiet. I head back upstairs and lock the door. Nothing else happened that night, and my ex and I split soon after. I stayed at that location for another year, and after she left, I felt much more comfortable. I don't know if I believe in the paranormal, but I can't explain what happened that night, and I can't help but feel there was an energy reacting to my ex's negative energy. I also want to add that I stayed at that house through hurricane force winds, and that door never budged. There's a bunch of like misogynistic comments, of course. What if hmm what if this guy's the problem and he just made this story up to like absolve himself of the blame? I don't know. See, like, this is why I don't know, living in a house is very scary to me, because what do you mean there's nothing stopping somebody from getting into your home. Literally nothing. And when I live in Canada, so if somebody breaks into my home, I can't just shoot them. I might go to jail. Like, I can't just kill people like they do in the US. So like it is so scary to me to exist in a home. Like in my apartment, I feel so much safer because it's like there's a main door that is locked, and then my door that is locked is like 4 flights up, 5 doors down. Fucking I just made up random numbers because I'm not telling you guys where I live, but like yeah, like I have to walk up flights of stairs, multiple, and then I have to walk down a long hallway, past multiple doors, and I feel safe like that. I don't know what the fuck is. And then the other thing too is like, why is your front door entirely glass? Do you want people to break in? Like, God, I hate the fact that we have made glass windows such a huge part of houses because, hey, I can break that with my fucking foot. Hello? I don't know, I hate it. This isn't next level creepy, but it sure freaked me out. I was walking to the bus stop one morning, my first semester at uni. I hate it when people say uni. I had started going by my middle name at this point. Some guy. I used to want to go by my middle name, and my parents were such haters. Some guy that I have never seen before crosses my path for a second, looks me square in the eye, and yells my full name. I was really stressed out and sleep deprived at the time, and I am still unsure if this actually happened or if it was a hallucination. Also, like, another thing that I want to talk about is Halloween in my city, because it's mostly just a bunch of fuck ass hicks. It's so boring. Every fucking hick ass person is either doing one of those cheap couples costumes, which is just boring. The only reason that those cheap couples costumes are made is because there's literally no thought or effort put into them, and they're really easy to make. It's like printing something on a fucking like foam board thingy and then putting straps over it. Like it's just so lame. And the other costumes that they wear is like a ref, a cowboy, which stupid, you already are one. And what's the other thing? And cop. And then there was like boob inspector and shit like that. Like go to hell. Go to fucking hell. I lived in a house that has periodic ghost activity. I had a tuft of hair tugged on 2 different times one night, and I used to hear somebody walking around in my room upstairs a couple of nights out of the week. It sounded like leather soled shoes on a wood floor. It was pretty frightening at first, and I started sleeping with the light on, but after a couple of weeks it got kind of annoying, and I eventually started sleeping through it or it stopped. What the fuck? Okay, this one is pretty short and it's not near Halloween. That's okay. Let's see if it's good. In my hometown, there are railroad tracks that go through the middle of town, past the cemetery on the edge of town, and into the nothingness. I'm from rural Arkansas. I don't know if that's how people talk from there, but anytime I read the word rural, I literally have to, like, I have an accent. Rural. I can't say it. Rural. Rural. I sound so stupid. So you can imagine what it's like, nothing but woods and fields for miles. Well, these tracks were always talked about by the teenagers, something about a kid getting hit by the train a long time ago. So of course, being stupid teenagers, my friends and I decided to go to the tracks one day where the kid supposedly died. So we're doing teenager things by the tracks, like putting rocks on them. What? When out comes a stray cat from the woods. It was kind of weird because we were so far away from town, but whatever, we didn't think about it. It walks up to us, and of course, we started petting it. A few minutes passed by, and we were all sitting on the tracks in a line, and the cat is walking from one end to the other, taking in all the pets, when all of a sudden we start to feel the ground shake. We look up, and a train was less than 100 feet from us. How we didn't hear it, I don't know. But I've never been so close to death in my life. It was terrifying, and we never saw the cat again. To this day, I think that cat tried to get us killed. You think the cat tried to get you killed? How fast was this train going for it to be 100 feet away from you and you were scared? 100 feet. Okay, my foot is 1 foot. So, like, imagine 100 of these. Whoosh. I don't know. I can't imagine 100 of these. Wait, how many? My mattress is like 8 feet. So 10 of I can't even imagine that either. I don't know why I'm trying. That's not far though. Or is it? No, I guess that's not that far. Okay, so based on my findings, cats don't try to kill people. I don't know where they came up with that. I don't think cats try to kill people. That's crazy. Maybe like as a revenge thing, like if there's an animal abuser or something. Or I also think that cats would kill somebody who is a woman abuser. Like that just feels like cat energy. There's this one trail in the middle of a state park that I occasionally go down. The entire time I walk down it, it feels like I'm being watched and or followed. This is why I'm so scared to go hiking in like woods and stuff. Like I don't know if I could do it. Like I don't know. Just like camping, like those people who go camping in like national parks where you can camp anywhere and they'll just camp in an area that nobody's in. How do you do that? I feel like you're making yourself just like a massive target. The entire um I had sticks break feet behind me and jump out of my skin. What is even weirder is while I have seen the occasional tracks or bears or trucks, um I have never seen any living creatures on it, not even a bird. I'm no stranger to the woods and I have been all over that park. If no animals will go there, I will not either. That's terrifying. Just that one trail freaks me out, not to mention it has some weird rock formations and placements that I would love to explore, but bears and rattlesnakes. But I thought you said there's no animals. Oh my god, does the thing happening for every day for 13 years count? If so, my childhood home had some supernatural shit going on. You would always hear the conversations of a man and a woman, but couldn't figure out their words. My room was where it could be heard the most. My room was also the room where a guy shoved his daughter out of the window about a century ago. A century ago. There's so many more things about that house that are creepy, but the conversations are what stuck with me most. Okay, last one. One night I was driving home from my then girlfriend's house. I was crossing a bridge and saw the figure of a man standing at the edge. It was around 1 or 2 in the morning, but I didn't really think too much of it. I veered over to give him plenty of room, and he turned towards me. His skin was pure white, and when his eyes locked onto mine, I felt a horrible feeling of terror sweep over my body. Not the terror. He jumped off the bridge and I saw a white streak fly away from where he jumped. I drove over that same bridge every time I'm home from college and I've never seen him or felt the same feeling since. I've told the story to a couple people and a few have also told me they experienced weird shit in that same area. I don't normally believe in anything supernatural, but I don't have any rational explanation for what I know I saw and felt. So, last one. This is secondhand from a post on Reddit that I probably can't find anymore. A woman posted that she had trouble opening the door to her baby son's nursery and saw the gray hand of a very old person holding it, the fingers reaching around from the other side. The woman responded to my question about whether she had an old relative living there, but she didn't. She presented this as true and had no explanation. This is, if true, the creepiest thing I've ever read on Reddit. I mean, I guess there are creepier things, but this one was so matter of fact and did not involve skinwalkers or werewolves. Yeah, and then this one, the living room and kitchen were adjacent with a wall partition. A wall partition. I got up from my couch to go to the kitchen, and when I turned the corner for a split second, I saw a man, blood all over, roughed up, clothes holding his face, and crouched down against the wall. It was so clear. I only saw it for a split second, but it seems like it was way too specific to be an eye glitch or something. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, I've had ones like that where I actually had one like that in my last video where I swear I saw somebody right there. But it was just a jacket hanging on the door. But yeah, I've had that same thing where like I've seen like creepy things. Like I've seen like a really I saw a lot of old people in the house that my parents currently live in. But also the other thing is I I I need to have some more paranormal experiences. I just don't go out that often. But most of my paranormal experiences happened when I was a kid or a teenager, and they are things that could be just hallucinations because I hallucinated a lot as a kid. I was not having a fun time. But yeah, ew, what the hell is that? I have to go now. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed these stories. I tried to keep them a little bit more on the interesting side rather than the traumatizing side. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Or if you want to watch more, press subscribe. There's a lot more videos on my channel that you can watch. Please also share your stories related to the topic in this video in the comments down below. And also, if you want to share any topics, or even if it's just like a link to something that you want me to talk about, let me know. I will talk about most things as long as it's not like really dark and serious and traumatizing. I like to like explore the internet and have fun, so I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, morning, month, Halloween. Have an amazing Halloween. I totally forgot that it was Halloween and this was like a Halloween video. But happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, bye.